beautiful out here today. I used to come up here all the time as a child. I'm not going to be releasing what cemetery this is because it's too close to Hell House, but it is beautiful. Hi everybody!
Hello.
We are in the cemetery near Hell House. It's a few blocks that way, but we can't show you the actual house, so we decided to come to the cemetery that we used to go and play around all the time when we were kids. It's a little loud here because it is by a highway, but hopefully you can hear me and I'll be able to adjust the audio setting in the editing process later. But today I have my brother Saahs with me again, and we're going to be talking about 3 more entities in Hell House. First, I would like to talk about my friend Radio Ghost. There were a lot of people who experienced Radio Ghost, but nobody else befriended Radio Ghost. My mother first experienced him and my grandfather when she was a child, and we call him Radio Ghost because he loved to mess with electronics. Radios would turn on in the middle of the night with no power supply. TVs would turn to loud static. Your radio station would switch to something that you didn't request. But Radio Ghost liked to stay in my room, and I noticed that when I was sick, I would see a butt print on my bed and feel a sense of comfort or someone else being there to try to help me. And I very quickly learned how to deal with the erratic electronics. And I had a bedtime ritual of unplugging everything and making sure nothing had batteries, and every morning I'd put it all back in. But I allowed Radio Ghost to live in my room while on the astral plane, while I lived in it in the physical plane, and in return he kept all of the other spirits in the house from being able to enter my room, which is why the man in the bowler hat never took a step into my room, while he did press the doors of other rooms frequently. But I wasn't the only person who experienced Radio Ghost, and not everyone's stories were that positive.
Yeah, no, my experiences with Radio Ghost were, majority of the time, losing things. I'd put something very specific. I'm very particular with where I put all my things, and things would vanish from where they belonged all the time. And sometimes I'd find them somewhere else. Other times they just ceased to exist, basically. He stole a lot of my stuff.
See, that happened to me the opposite way, where if I lost something, I could ask him to return it to me and it would appear on my bed. So that's a good example of one spirit liking someone but not liking another person. One person, their inconveniences were helped, and the other person, the inconveniences were caused. Now, I've mentioned this before, I don't think Radio Ghost was a ghost. He didn't act like a ghost, he acted like a demon. But he was friendly towards me, and at the time I didn't understand the difference. But he never came out of the house, and the day that I moved out, I was really sad in my bedroom, kind of crying, because I knew I was having to say goodbye to him.
This is a touching moment. Don't you know that?
We got some loud cars. And then my phone randomly started playing a sappy love song about 2 lovers having to part, and I cried harder, to be honest. And sometimes I still walk past the house and look at my bedroom window and kind of feel the love for that little demon in my room, but I know I can't take him home. And unless I move in again, which I'm never going to, That's a love story from the past. Very soon after moving into Hell House, me and my brother noticed that we both started seeing an apparition of a man in a suit. The way I saw him was in a full black suit with a black shirt.
And the way I saw him, he was all dressed in white.
Yes, and he had slick black hair with me.
I couldn't actually see his hair, it was too bright. Like, it was just bright ass white. Everything was white.
But he gave me a very negative vibe. And I noticed he would follow us out of Hell House. We would see him in doorways, in windows, and in mirrors anywhere we went. And when I say he had a bad vibe, it wasn't just he made me feel uncomfortable. When he was around, I felt in danger, like a primal feeling of danger, like this entity was preying on me.
Yeah, I did not like staying in any area where I'd seen him. If I could, I'd go somewhere else as fast as I could. I did not like the feeling of provocation that just emanated off of him.
Yeah, he liked to make us angry, and it tended to make us in particular fight. He followed us from 2003 all the way until 2010, when I finally discovered who he was and was able to banish him. But that is a story for another day. This last one was, in my opinion, the scariest of this bunch.
And this is one that I had a lot of experience with, because it predominantly lived in the basement, and I spent a lot of my time from around age 10 till we moved out. I was in the basement.
I saw it too because the home computer was in the basement, and as a teenager, the internet was a magical thing, and I found myself down there alone a lot. But most of the experiences I had with the stair creeper happened in the kitchen upstairs. It liked to chase me, and if I had the kitchen door open, I could see it crouching like a shadowy golem, and it would bound up the stairs at me. So I got really good at keeping that door shut, but it never left the kitchen with me.
For me, I saw it in a lot of places. In the kitchen, of course. Sometimes I could see it creeping into the dining room, but I spent so much time in the basement that I eventually got used to sharing a space with it. I wouldn't say that we got friendly by any means. I just got pushy. And there were some times where I would go to the little room where we had the washing machine, which was where you could see the underside of the stairs, and that's where it would like to hang out a lot of the times, just chilling. And if it had bothered me at a previous time, I would just go in there and sit on the dryer or the washer and stare at it. And pro tip, not a good idea. Don't do that. Don't do that, okay?
Yeah, that's called provocation, and it tends to make the hauntings worse, which is probably why it didn't focus on me as much. Because I also remember a day that you said it chased you all the way to your bedroom door.
Yeah, it did. I didn't even have time to turn the computer off or stop anything I was doing. I just had to get up and dash to my room.
And this wasn't a simply Hell House occurrence. It also happened in our neighbors' houses, and it happened several blocks down the street in my friend's house as well. It would sit in any basement stairs in the neighborhood. It probably sits in that house's basement stairs over there. But I don't know what it is, but it's everywhere here.
Yeah, I saw it at my friend's house too.
Yeah.
And that's on a completely different end of the neighborhood. That's a long range.
It's not even connected to the woods. So I'm not sure what the stair creeper is, but it's a massive entity that infects all of the stairways of this neighborhood. And it seems to make friends. Our next episode will be entirely about one entity that still terrifies us to this day. And I kind of don't want to talk about it because it will bring up the feelings of terror and sickness that it would put in people when it was near. But I think it's important to share the whole story and to share the story accurately. So next episode, we will be talking about the long neck. A big thank you to Arthur for helping us film this video today. He was the one behind the camera. Say hi.
Hello.
He's also in my riding team, so you'll be seeing more of him in the future. Quieter now. So you said your friend saw 4 figures that had eyes?
Yeah, she saw the 4 figures and, you know, the reflection that you get in people's eyes whenever you, like, shine a flashlight or a camera in them?
Yeah.
She saw those.
We were getting chased by a drone, but it seems to have lost interest in us for now. And we just walked onto the dead-end street of Hell House. Hell House looked in shambles. Someone's obviously living there, but they had a lot of aggressive things in their windows, so we're not going to go talk to them. Yeah, things are not looking good. Okay, I said I wasn't going to show Hell House, but I did. Gosh, now we've got helicopters? What's going on? This is going to be a weird video. This has been a very interesting adventure, wouldn't you guys say?
I think so.
I'd call it jarring.
Yeah, jarring. Jarring is a good word for it.